Hello there, kia ora. I know I didn't do a video yesterday, but that's because on Thursday my brain was kind of mush after 14 hours of work, and today is also kind of a rush job because I've got a fair bit to get done. Depending on the weather, I'm either going to be clearing out the yard to make sure it doesn't flood again when the winter rains hit like it did last year, or I'm going to be in the garage clearing out the accumulation of really good boxes I just don't want to throw away that have been there since before COVID hit. All depends on the weather, but I still wanted to do a video for you because there's a couple of things I need to get through, like a petition that I think would be really cool if you went and signed. You might remember a couple of weeks ago when I did a live stream with Blake Forbes Gentle. He was a disability advocate that was telling us about all sorts of things that have happened with the cuts from the ministry towards disabled peoples and what it is that they actually require. Well, he and his advocate have been working together to get a petition up on the parliamentary website asking for a return of greater choice and control and flexibility to disability funding. And that went live over the last couple of days. So there's a link down in my bio for you to go and click on there and sign the petition, and it is super, super easy. Don't forget, when it comes to government petitions, the only ones that they actually accept are ones that are done through the parliamentary website. So have a look through the other petitions that are on there as well and see if there's any other things that jump out. While change.org might get a message across, for example, this kind of petition is the one that legally the government pays attention to. So make sure you go, follow the link, and sign that petition for Blake. It'd be fantastic if you did that. I also thought I owed you guys a bit of an update on the video that I did Monday, where I gave you 5 scenarios and asked if you could tell which political party said what. Nobody got this right, and that doesn't surprise me. That was kind of the point of the video. So I thought I owed you guys a bit of an explanation. It was the National Party who actually spoke about the disconnect between the police and the public and their perceptions of each other and what it is that they do, and wanting to pull them together so they could have a conversation around fixing that misconception. It was the Green Party that was talking about the need to be seen out in public a lot more often, to be seen to be fighting whatever it was that the government was doing or whatever injustices were happening out there. And it was the Labour Party that spoke about the problems that they have with the capital gains tax, getting so many people so riled up and so angry. And it was the Labour Party that spoke about the need to focus on Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland, because of the population size, as opposed to just everywhere else being the focus, like farmers and farming, like some political parties would like you to believe that's what they do. And it was the Labour Party as well that was talking about the roles between list MPs and electorate MPs and where those borders sometimes cross and the misconceptions that the public have about both of them. So you now know which of those all fit together. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the video on Monday. It'll be somewhere in my feed, I guess. Go exploring. And finally, I wanted to leave you with some good news because the world is scary and horrifying, and not good news in the Christopher Luxon wore a full suit to Manila Airport, the hottest place in Manila. Speaking from experience, that would have been 40 degrees when he landed. A full suit and 40 degrees with massive humidity. That's not the kind of good news I'm talking about. No, I wanted to do something different in pop culture because I like pop culture, if you can't tell by my background. This week, the original model for the Starship Enterprise, it was found and returned to the Roddenberry family. It's been missing since the 70s, since they were making the original Star Trek motion picture, and they found it and they returned it, and it's a little bit, but it could use some work to be fixed, and apparently they're looking at putting it in the Smithsonian, which is actually a really, really cool thing to know. It was returned to Gene Roddenberry's son, who Gene Roddenberry was the guy who created Star Trek, if you didn't know. There you go. A little bit of nerd history for you, and it's a good thing, like good piece of nerd history as well, with some good news and a positive outcome to what has generally been a really weird kind of long week for everybody. So I'll be back next week. Until then, I guess have a great weekend and don't work too hard. Take the weekend off if you can, relax, enjoy the whatever weather it is that we've got outside.